Thanksgiving morning, his phone wouldn't stop buzzing. He was in the shower, and one text lit up the screen. "Babe, I miss you." By the time he stepped out with a towel around his waist, I already knew everything. And before that weekend was over, he wasn't just single. He was sitting in an empty apartment with no girlfriend and no furniture. If you've ever been cheated on, if you've ever felt that punch to the stomach betrayal, this one is for you. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and stick around, because this story isn't just about revenge, it's about reclaiming your power. Let's get into it. About a year into dating him, I thought I knew who he was. He was charming in that effortless way, the kind of guy who remembered your coffee order, who held your hand in public, who texted you "drive safe" every time you left his place. A year in, you stop questioning, you start building. So when he invited me to Thanksgiving with his family, I took it as a milestone. This wasn't casual anymore. This was real. Dinner that night was warm. His mom hugged me at the door. His dad asked about my job. His cousins joked with him about finally bringing someone serious. I sat there glowing, thinking, wow, I made it. I'm part of this now. He squeezed my hand under the table, smiled at me like I was the only woman in the world. The irony. The next morning, everything cracked. He hopped into the shower upstairs. I was still in bed, scrolling aimlessly, when I heard it. Buzz, buzz, buzz. At first, I ignored it. Everyone gets notifications, but it kept going, persistent, urgent. I glanced at his phone on the nightstand. The screen lit up again. Unknown number. And then the preview. "Babe, I miss you." My stomach dropped so fast it felt like the floor disappeared beneath me. There's this split second in moments like that where your brain tries to protect you. It's nothing. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe it's spam. But your body knows before your mind does. My hands were shaking when I picked up the phone. More messages rolled in. "Are you with her? Why aren't you answering?" Her. Not a mistake. Not spam. Not harmless. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I went cold. I grabbed my phone and stepped into the hallway, dialed the number. She answered on the third ring. "Hello?" Her voice sounded normal, casual, like she had no idea her world was about to collide with mine. I swallowed. "Hi, I think we're dating the same guy." Silence, and then a sharp inhale. Over the next 10 minutes, the truth unraveled like a slow, suffocating thread. They worked together. He pursued her, told her he was single, said he wasn't looking for anything serious, but then got serious anyway. The timeline? It overlapped perfectly. A whole year of lies, shared holidays, shared intimacy, shared "I love yous." I wasn't just hurt, I was disgusted. He didn't trip and fall into betrayal. He maintained 2 full relationships, juggled us like it was nothing. And in that moment, standing outside the bathroom door while water ran and steam filled the hallway, something shifted inside me. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to dismantle him. When he stepped out of the shower, towel wrapped low around his waist, hair dripping, he smiled like everything was normal. "Morning, babe." I smiled back, and that was the most terrifying thing I could have done. "Morning," I said softly. He had no idea I already knew. We went downstairs together for breakfast. His mom was plating pancakes. His dad was reading the paper. It looked like a Norman Rockwell painting. I quietly brought my suitcase down and set it by the door. He noticed. "Why are your bags down here?" I turned to his family and calmly said, "I just found out your son has been cheating on me, so I won't be staying for breakfast or any future meals." The fork clattered out of her hand. His dad slowly lowered the newspaper, and my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, went pale, like someone had drained him of blood. "What are you talking about?" he hissed. I held up my phone. She told me everything. The panic in his eyes? Immediate, primal, caught. He tried to stammer something, some half-formed excuse, but there's no clever script when 2 timelines collide. His mom looked at him like she didn't recognize him, and that right there, that was the first taste of justice, the exposure, the crack in his carefully crafted image. Luckily, we had driven separately. I didn't storm out. I didn't cry. I walked out with my dignity intact. But halfway home, anger started simmering under my skin. Not explosive, not chaotic, focused. Months earlier, I had helped him furnish his apartment. A friend of mine had been moving out of state and gave me a beautiful living and dining room set for free. Dining table, chairs, couch, coffee table, side tables. I gave them to him as a gift. At the time, it felt symbolic, building a life together. Now, it felt like unfinished business. I picked up my phone, called my friend, the one with the pickup truck. "Are you busy?" I asked. "Why?" "I need to repossess some furniture." She didn't even hesitate. "Say less." We met at his apartment. I still had the key he had given me, that sacred symbol of trust. I unlocked the door and walked into the place I had helped build. It was quiet, still, deceptively peaceful. We didn't rush. We didn't trash anything. This wasn't chaos. This was precision. We carried out the dining table first, then the chairs, the couch, the coffee table, the side tables. Each trip down the stairs felt lighter. Not because the furniture was heavy, but because I was shedding something toxic with every step. By the end, his living room echoed, empty, just blank walls and carpet impressions where the couch used to sit. We stood there for a second, surveying the damage. No yelling, no vandalism, just absence. And honestly, it was poetic. He built his double life on lies. Now he had space to sit with them, on the floor. I locked the door behind us and slid the key under it. Blocked him on everything before he could even process what happened. Phone, social media, email. Silence. But here's the part that makes this even better. A few days later, I met up with the other woman for coffee. No jealousy, no competition, just two women comparing notes and realizing we'd both been manipulated by the same mediocre man. We laughed at the absurdity, the audacity, the scheduling gymnastics he must have done. And instead of tearing each other down, we built each other up. We became friends, because at the end of the day, the villain wasn't either of us, it was him. I don't know exactly how he reacted when he got back to his apartment, but I imagine the door opening, the pause, the confusion, the slow realization. No couch, no table, no place to sit except the cold, hard floor. And maybe, just maybe, it finally clicked. You can't build comfort on betrayal. You can't juggle people without eventually dropping everything. He lost 2 women in one day, and a fully furnished living room. Me? I lost a cheater, and gained my self-respect back. That's not revenge fueled by rage, that's balance restored. Sometimes revenge isn't about destruction, it's about reclamation, taking back what you gave in good faith, walking away with your dignity, and refusing to let someone else's dishonesty define your worth. If you've ever had your trust shattered and came out stronger, drop a comment below. What's the pettiest or most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a reminder. Cheaters don't just lose partners, sometimes they lose the couch too. And I'll see you in the next story.